you know, the way you carry yourself has an impact on how people perceive you, and it can have an impact on how people treat you, okay? Now, we all know this, but it's something I want to talk about in a way, because I kind of have an interesting anecdote. One day I was over at my friend's house, and I'm going to change the names here. There was this guy in the kitchen. His name was Michael, and there's his wife in the kitchen, Susie. Michael and Susie are in the kitchen. And Michael, this is how the conversation starts off as, and I'm in a different room. I just remember Michael saying, "I know y'all have been talking about me." And Susie started to kind of sound all apologetic, like what? No, we haven't been talking about you. What do you mean? And that was pretty much the end of the conversation, as far as I remember. But the reason why I remembered that for the rest of my life is because I mulled over it afterwards. I was just curious. I started to think to myself, why did he say that? Why did he ask her? Why did he say, "I know y'all have been talking about me"? I was thinking, maybe he passed by. Maybe he overheard Susie and her sister talking about him. Maybe he straight up heard her talking about him, and he decided to kind of call him out on it. Maybe he heard them talking about him and decided to call him out on it. And I was thinking that's possible. It seems kind of unlikely though. But I started to think of something else. See, Susie and her sister, they talk a lot. They gossip nonstop. It seems like, I would say about 80% of what comes out of their mouth is gossip. Okay. And so I started to think, you know what, maybe Michael realizes that just as much as I do. Maybe Michael got self-conscious maybe he got self-conscious of the fact that they probably are talking about him. It's likely that his wife does make fun of him because she talks about so many people. Odds are it wouldn't make any sense to believe that she would not talk about him, because she talks about literally everyone. So it wouldn't make any sense to think that he's an exception to that. So he knew just by default of listening to her talk about everyone else that she most likely does talk shit behind his back. I just kind of made me think, she is oblivious to the fact that that's the image she gets off. She is oblivious to the fact that she comes across as a gossip queen. And that makes her husband kind of self-conscious. And rightfully so. So once I realized that, it was just, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. So you got to watch how you carry yourself. You got to think about the image that you project. The way you talk, the way you walk, the stuff you talk about, how you say it, who you talk to. You got to think about these kind of things.